And it is an inside job. All of us have to do inventory, figure out our part in creating the world that we enjoy or that we suffer from. Suffering can be enjoyed, and that's the way you get a lot of joy. But, we're alive, we're breathing. It could be that it's an inside job. It's the way of the world. And our species, as ruthless as it can be, and trying to survive against the odds, particularly because we're geared to think in terms of scarcity. So if we're living in abundance, we don't have a clue about how to deal with it. I love this song. Don Henley wrote it in 2000, 25 years ago. And this is the way things go. If we can just wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, he refrains. It's very well composed and arranged. There's something about music that can really pull us together if we let it. Let's see, we've got Catherine Leone and John Neumann have both joined. I don't know if you're sticking with it or not. I know how hard it is to always walk out in the light. It's an inside job to learn about forgiving. It's an inside job to hang on to the joy of living. Over here, I have a beautiful image that was done for my wife's birthday on top of the DVD rack. A photograph by my father of the interior of Bruton Parish Church. It's over there. I've got a lot of fragments stored against these ruins that I constitute. That's the way it is. Lost Fives 100 is joined again. A quite mysterious figure. It happens to be on my list of folks who are paid subscribers to Harrowings. And I appreciate that. Paid subscribers are so needed. I have very few, 14 in total at this point at the last count. Seem to be hovering right below the 600 level for overall numbers of subscribers, and I'm grateful for all of them. Hopefully this is reaching some. So in listening to this, I'm realizing it's a bit loud, and I'd like to turn it down a little, but I can't really from here on this app. I'm going to close the visual to be able to pull the volume down a little. And we'll see what it serves up next. Doctor quote from Monty Python. Well, it just skip over that. And I think I'll skip over the next couple of tunes too. It's trying to serve me up some. Strawberry Fields Forever takes 7. No. Uncle John's Band. No. World Harmony. World in Harmony. That's a nice idea. Fleetwood Mac. Then play on classic album from before Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks came in. We'll close that down. Go back to Substack Live. There we go. The Bold Insight is joined. That's nice. I'm not sure what the insight I have is. I've got a vision, though. Vision of technology taking over our care on this planet, enabling it with a tight ethical framework. Makes sense is joined. I hope I make sense. And, the idea is that we do have technologies available to us. We can orchestrate them. We can pull them together in such a way that they can work cooperatively to enhance the health of the planet. and mitigate the negative effects that human beings have propagated in the course of our childhood over the past tens of thousands of years. Since we've developed agriculture, we've gradually become worse and worse for the planet, and not so great for ourselves either. There's the tendencies I mentioned earlier to be greedy, to try to stock up on everything and to control more and more that increased pack, as Elias Canetti talked about in Crowds and Power in 1960. Canetti won the Nobel Prize for Literature back then, and a lot of it was for his memoirs, A Tongue Set Free, The Torch in My Ear, The Play of the Eyes, and there was a fourth one in that series, and I don't remember the name of it, but they wrote a lot, and I've got a lot of his books here. Got hooked on him because I studied the German novel in graduate school. I think it was my second year, my third semester, in which I took this course in the novel, and we were reading De Man ohne Eigenschaften, Alfred Döblin's City as a Character. And then we also read Die Blendung by Elias Canetti, which was the first of what was to be a series of novels, but it was the only one. And it was really shocking. It was like a Groats painting or Otto Dix painting set to novel form. And it really did sort of wake me up and shake me up. We also read Magic Mountain during that time, Thomas Mann's great novel of tuberculosis. And so much of it was about oxygen deprivation, to be cut off from being able to breathe, from being x-rayed. The images of the chest x-ray being given as a token of affection. Oh, Adirondack chairs apparently came from tuberculosis sanitariums. My wife listened to Everything is Tuberculosis. It's a book on tape not long ago. I don't know. I just know how things seem to me. I'm befuddled and confused, and I think a lot of us are. I think that's what I see in Substack more and more. It's a confusion of tongues, if you will. And we're all talking to each other. We're getting together. We're having conversations. I'm going to do a couple more here soon. On Wednesday night with Carmino Zambrano, who has this idea of discipline and a gentle discipline with himself to say, you got to have a rhythm to your life, a practice. And his idea is that a lot of us beat ourselves up a lot for not being as on our practice as we ought to be. I'm also going to have soon another session with Kay Stoner that I do every Friday at 10 a.m. now, the Kay Stoner Show. That's Eastern Time in the U.S. For those of you not in this time zone, you can translate it 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And then on Saturday, Jay Venera is coming back for a third time. That's Julia Casare, PhD. And she's quite an interesting character from Rome. And I think that she usually gives me more than I expect. I was thinking we were going to be talking about AI and what she knows about that and robotics and such. We're talking much more about what it means to be alive, that experience of being embodied critters and having that deep yearning for connection, for more, for being in our own selves. Self-realization really is what I think it comes back to. And I don't know. I just know how it seems to me. And I know that if we continue on the path we're down, we're heading into dystopian futures. I already see some of us living that way. I am concerned, naturally, about it because I don't want to suffer in my old age. I want to be as well taken care of as possible, I watched my father go down at the age of 91, and then my mother, now at 87, is in a senior living facility, and it's jarring to see this situation unfold. And I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. So I am perplexed, and I'm not in a position really to ask a lot of questions. I think that's been deliberately arranged such, and I try not to. I try to be as little of a problem as I possibly can be. But I do feel like I've been robbed in a lot of ways, and I'm trying to get over that feeling and realize that, a servant is worthy of their hire. And my sister is taking care of an awful lot of stuff. I don't know that I'm going to be seeing any inheritance. I think it'll all get soaked up in caring for mom as long as she persists. And she could persist a very long time as the genetics are good. Her health is good. And of course, I'm concerned. I want her not to suffer, but her mind is pretty far gone. And it's a tragedy in a lot of ways, playing out. It's been playing out for a while, and it will probably continue to play out. I keep breathing. I keep breathing as long as possible. Lynn had an event this evening here at the house, and we called in the ambulance. I think she was losing consciousness as she was preparing dinner. And she called me over to the table to help her, and I found that she was really, really slipping out of consciousness and scared the shit out of me. So I did call 911, did have the ambulance come in. The paramedics came in and checked her out, gave her, the basic, vitals. And they were okay. So we think it was just a momentary event. But with her losing consciousness, I didn't want to take any chances and call 911. It's really scary. She had suffered a stroke in 2009, and I thought she might be having another one, for her body seemed to be kind of not responsive. And it's just like, wow, you don't want to see that happen. So this is a little bit of who, what, when, and where, and the aspect of nobody in the room, in the bunker with me now. Lynn's gone back to bed. And I am probably going to head there in short order myself, but I like to check in online with some folks every so often. There are 5 of you here besides me, which I'm grateful for, and we'll continue to try to enjoy the evening. I think I'll wrap it up here, and for what it's worth, remember, every cent spent is a vote for the world we are co-creating. Try to be mindful and try to do what you can to move the needle a little bit for others. And that's all I got tonight. Thank you so much. We're out.